Country versus country. Head to head. The ultimate test. To be the best. National heroes. National pride. Driver skill. Nowhere to hide. What the fans want. What the sport needs. Get ready for the passion. A1 Grand Prix. The World Cup of Motorsport.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a few deep breaths, relax, and try to imagine with me what A1 will be.
In March 2004, A1 Grand Prix, the World Cup of Motorsport, was unveiled to the world's media in the famously glamorous emirate of Dubai. The concept, so long awaited by millions of motorsport fans, began its dynamic journey to reality under the watchful eyes of some of the world's greatest drivers. While the stars toasted the world's first glimpse of the car, testing was already well underway in the UK. A1 Grand Prix is a single-seater, one-make World Motorsport Championship representing 80% of the world's population. In the true spirit of international competition, one car and team will represent one country. Each car will have the same weight and power specifications with no electronic driver aids. The exciting element for sports fans is that the format will pit driver against driver and country against country on a level playing field with plenty of close racing guaranteed.
Basically, we are the World Cup of Motorsport, and nations backing the car, sponsors backing the country, teams pushing the driver, drivers pushing the cars. It makes sense. It's simple.
Can you imagine the excitement of 25 nations fighting lap for lap for the ultimate honour of being crowned world champions of motorsport? This is what fans can expect from an A1 Grand Prix event. Day one, the Friday, is for setup and free practice. The Saturday features a 1-hour morning practice with a 1-hour qualifying session in the afternoon. Sunday starts with a sprint race to establish grid position for the main race, which will run between 40 and 60 minutes. In addition to national pride, the teams will be racing for a prize fund worth $1 million per race, making A1 Grand Prix the richest series in motorsport. The perfect vehicle to bring the thrill of driver versus driver racing back to the international motorsport stage, A1 Grand Prix is eagerly anticipated by the industry, fans, established racing nations, and enthusiastic newcomers alike.
I think all the Chinese people will agree with me that A1 will be very good for China to develop their motorsports activities. I think the whole People's Republic of China would like to support and try to get the better championship of A1.
We've got some nations now that have already signed up that's going to compete that haven't necessarily been in motorsport before, and I think that alone is quite significant. I think it's going to bring motorsport to a lot of nations that don't now enjoy it.
I'm very proud to actually have the chance to be involved in something that not just as a team but representing a country.
Nearly half the grid have already guaranteed their places in the series. And with 207 countries in the world vying for just 25 slots, there's much excitement about who will join them in the World Cup of Motorsport. Historic and friendly competition between neighbouring countries is already clear.
We've got some friendly rivalry with other neighbours of ours, and we want to make sure that we don't lag too far behind them. So we do want to make sure that we have a good chance, and our driver is there to win.
I think as far as possible, we have found a solution to make the closest level playing field in motorsport.
The A1 Grand Prix team has continually hit every goal it set itself, maintaining an astonishing momentum. The months that followed the star-studded launch of the series saw the visually striking car undergo an intensive and rigorous series of tests and development. And the hard work came to fruition under the unforgiving Jerez sun as the car took to this famous circuit for a comprehensive and demanding week-long test session, just 6 months after its Dubai debut, and it passed with flying colours.
great car, and it's good horsepower, it's got 520 horsepower, I think, with the option to go to more, and the car's got good downforce. So it gives you confidence to be able to push, you know, every single lap. The current type of car they've built is going to make for good racing.
A1 Grand Prix is the brainchild of His Highness Sheikh Maktoum Al Maktoum of Dubai's ruling family. He wants to give the fans the close racing they want at a price they can afford.
Instead of having people going to the cinema on a Sunday, I want them to be at my race. We made it so they have a full day of full entertainment and they get their money's worth. We make sure that the sponsors are happy with the coverage. We make sure that the countries are proud to be in our series. We make sure that the fan, our absolute end customer, is absolutely satisfied and pleased.
Sheikh Maktoum has handpicked a formidable combination of talent and expertise to help realise his dream. Those key partners who share his determination, vision and passion are themselves legends in motorsport.
Looks very interesting, looks like a real racing car, has a very nice sound and works very well.
A1 Grand Prix specially commissioned Lola International to design, build and engineer the A1 car.
We've developed a quite straightforward car. It'll be a reliable car, easy to run, it'll be quick. So I think we've done our part to make sure the series should be a success.
A1 Grand Prix also commissioned Zytek to develop a specially designed A1 engine to bring 550 brake horsepower to the machine, incorporating the most advanced technology available.
Zytek are extremely honoured and privileged to have been awarded the contract to design and manufacture the engine for A1 Grand Prix. And we believe it's going to be an extremely global motorsport event, and we feel that it's going to probably change the whole concept of motorsport worldwide in the next 3 years. So we're extremely excited about the proposition of being involved with A1 Grand Prix.
All this style and power will grip the world's race circuits on Cooper tyres.
For us, it's a great accolade to be chosen by the group of people involved in A1GP. It's a real feather in our cap as a company. And from Cooper, it's a wonderful opportunity to build our brand globally. It's just unbelievable.
A1 Grand Prix is ready for the logistical challenge of this innovative series.
It's going to be pretty big. We're talking 50 cars travelling around the world, equipment for teams. We're going to have one mechanic with each team to keep control of the spec of the cars.
As more countries come on board, teams including Lebanon, South Africa and the United Kingdom have launched to great national support at the very highest levels of sport, industry and government. In the UK, a motorsport legend has lent his backing and endorsement.
This will be a wonderful opportunity. When the rest of the world will be thinking about the next season, this will be projected throughout the world, and it will be an even playing field.
I just think the concept's fantastic and it can't help but succeed.
And in South Africa, the very highest levels of government and business launched the car to an ecstatic crowd of fans.
I want to say thank you very much indeed for this original thinking. But I also think the fact that there would be a South African car, South African colour, South African driver and so on, makes an extraordinary statement about South Africans. And I'm very glad that you've given us the possibility to make that statement about ourselves.
When an idea has arrived and its time is here, nothing can prevent it.
A1 Grand Prix has even been given the seal of approval by one of the world's greatest statesmen.
Nelson Mandela was very excited, very happy. He said, thank you for bringing this. I said, thank you for seeing me and backing A1 up. It's absolutely phenomenal.
While teams launched on 3 different continents, others got down to testing cars and drivers. And it's not just the teams and the fans that are waiting impatiently for the championship launch in September 2005. A1 Grand Prix makes sound business sense for investors and sponsors too.
I'm the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and I applaud the series business model because that's important to us.
Motorsport is my passion, it's my hobby, it's what I love to do. But my core competencies, which I've studied 7 years for, is finance. And that is what I know how to do. And I've used that and acquired the knowledge of motorsport and married it with finance.
Each participating country will be offered one seat to one exclusive licensee on a franchise basis, and there are already 23 seats provisionally allocated. Each franchisee will run his own business as the national seat holder, generating income through national sponsorship and advertising, local radio rights, merchandising, and a significant prize fund.
I think that the concept which has been devised is one which gives us opportunity for business persons who were never normally involved or thinking of being involved in motorsport to actually become involved.
The way I think it's constructed is very sensible and gives an opportunity to a country which hasn't got the same, if you like, momentum as the countries in the West. So it gives us an opportunity to get involved with the world of motorsports and motor racing.
The holding company, the whole concept has wonderful business potential.
You take that we are bringing in China, India, Pakistan, Turkey, USA, Europe, and you only took 5% of those nations, of that population is watching the A1 Grand Prix. Well, then you're sitting on 300 million people watching this Grand Prix. Obviously, if you combine that over a 10 or 12 series event over the year, you could go into 3-4 billion viewers. And if that's what you're trying to achieve as a CEO of a company trying to put out your name and your brand, think of where we're racing. We're racing the emerging markets.
This idea, the A1, attracts us because of the formidable nature of potential support by a very strong majority of mankind who watches television.
Broadcasters tend to want to follow a national personality, a national team, something that resonates within their viewership. You don't have that opportunity very often. In programming terms, it allows them to continue a motorsport focus throughout the year.
The driver is driving, not for a manufacturer, not for himself, not for anybody. He's driving for an entire population. It makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up.
There is nothing similar to it in the motorsport world and has never been.
I would not want to see us miss out in the first motor racing World Cup.
In September 2005, this exciting new series will bring an adrenaline-filled racing spectacle to the world's circuits, giving top teams and drivers a chance to prove who really is the best. A1 Grand Prix is set to bring a long-awaited fresh dimension to motorsport. Approved by the FIA, acclaimed by the world's media, and built on a sound business model. It's what the fans want. It's what the sport needs. A1 Grand Prix, the World Cup of motorsport.
There is a day where 25 national teams will be lining up on a grid on a track somewhere. And before the flags go down, you'll hear a man saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, for the pride of your nations, start your engines."